Good morning, everyone. It's Jennifer here from LuLaRoe by Jennifer and Ellen. And today I'm going to be doing a styling video on the Azure skirt. I apologize for not being on last week. The week kind of got away from me. It was a little crazy. But I'm really excited today to show you some really cool, neat tricks that you can do with the Azure. And one of the things that I love about the Azure is I think it's a piece that you can really take through the seasons. It's not just a piece that can be worn in the summer. It's really a piece that you can take into fall and winter depending on how you style it and how you wear it. So what I'm going to do today is I have with me, this is the extra small Azure, and I have an extra small, a small, a medium, and a large. And I'm going to show you different ways to wear not only your size, but if you see a print, as I did with the Julie, if you see a print that you really like in a size that is too big, I'm going to show you how you can make it work for you. And I will tell you when I get to the end and show you what to do with the large. It might be my favorite way to wear the Azure skirt. So stay tuned for that. So I'm going to get started. So here's the Azure skirt. As you can see, it's very similar to the maxi, but hits to about, on me it hits a little bit below the knee. It's an A-line. It has that nice high waistband. So I often will just wear it with a tank top, as you see here. As you know, you can do with most of the LuLaRoe items, you can fold down the waistband, and that will kind of give you a little more waist area up here. It'll shorten, you know, if I were to pull it up, it will shorten the skirt as well. So you can kind of, depending on how you like to wear it, you know, play around with it. And you can also pull it all the way up under your bust line, just like I did with the maxi. And it's going to create almost like an empire waistline. And what I often will do, I wouldn't necessarily do it with this print because it's too busy, but if you had a more subtle print or even a solid, I would throw on a little, you know, just a thin little belt and wear it high up, and it'll just give it a little extra touch. Again, I would not wear a belt with this print, but this was just the one that I pulled for the video today because I thought it was such a pretty pattern. And then just like the maxi, you can also pull it up, and again, I would not wear this with a tank top. I'm just wearing it for the video. You can pull it up and wear it as a strapless dress, and you can see it hits me above my knee a little bit. It's not too short on me. I would definitely wear this as a dress. You can also wear it if you know the length makes you a little uncomfortable. Wear it as a bathing suit cover-up, and it's just a super easy way to take your skirt from one look to another, simply just by pulling it up. I am going to step off camera 1 second because I want to throw on a pair of leggings because I want to show you how you can take your shirt and turn it into a top. So right here, all I did, I threw on a pair of leggings, and I'm going to pull up the back of my skirt so it hits me at about my waist. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the fabric to the side, and I'm going to do a big knot. And this is something, I would probably wear this more with jeans or like shorts than I would leggings, just because I think it shows a little too much of the thigh, but it was just easier to throw on. But as you can see there, all I did was I pulled it, gathered it all to the side and did a big top knot. And you can see it lays nicely in the back. It comes up, it gives a nice ruching effect, and it's just an interesting way and a different way to wear the you know, your Azure as a top. The other thing that you can also do is throw on, and I'm going to use, again, I would not use this style belt with this skirt, but for the purpose of the video. So all I did was I belted it, and I'm going to blouse. And you just want to blouse so that your hemline is even, excuse me. And then and then I'm going to drop it down a little bit so it hits about at a little bit close to my hips. And now I just kind of created a fun, cute little, has a little bit of a swing to it. And if you don't like things that are a little, you know, close fitting to the bodies, you can see I've bloused it out so it's not so form fitting. And it's just a different way to wear your Azure as a shirt. So I'm going to slip off the leggings super quick. And you know, there's one other way that I forgot to show you as a skirt that I think is super fun. So, all right, here, I'm back to the skirt. And an easy thing that you can do, and this is the same thing that I did with the maxi. All you do, knot it up. And now it just kind of gives it a little bit more character. And if you want, you can kind of do it a little more off to the side. And you know, depending on how high you tie it, it's going to show a little more leg or a little less leg. So I think this is just, you know, a different, just a different look. I think it's super fun. Gives it a little more character than just having the A-line skirt. So these are all the ways of wearing, you know, just kind of like the basic ways, as I was put, of wearing the Azure. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to slip on a medium and a small. And I'm going to do both at the same time. So here we go. All right. Here I'm wearing the medium Azure. And as you can see, I can wear the medium Azure. So this is one of those, I think one of those pieces that you can kind of size up and size down a little bit, even though it may not quite be your size, because this, I really am the extra small, and I mean, this is 2 sizes, and I would definitely wear the size medium. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to put on a second Azure, and if you are going to do this look, I would definitely recommend doing 2 different sizes. You're going to want a larger size and a smaller size. And you're always going to put your larger size underneath. So I had the medium in the navy. So this is the size medium, and then this is my size small. So what I did here is all I did was I layered 2 Azures together. And all I'm doing is pulling it up. They're almost even. I would say I have maybe 1/4 inch. The small is 1/4 inch higher than the medium, but you can see what happens down here. You get that peekaboo. And I think it just adds a little more character. It gives it a little bit of an edge. I think it gives it really nice movement. And if you want to add a little extra oomph, take your top layer, do that same knot trick that I just showed you, and tie it up. And now it's just an entirely different, come a little closer, you can see, an entirely different look. And you get that more color underneath. And this is something that you can really play around with depending on the Azures you have in your closet. You could do like a solid black on top and a really funky print underneath. And when you pull that up, it's just like a little like, hey, look at me. So, you know, really fun, easy trick that you can do with 2 Azures. Again, if you're going to do this, I highly recommend doing 2 different sizes. You could do it with the same, but you're not going to get that hem margin at the bottom like I did. I mean, you will if you play with this, but and I think it just lays nicer when you have the 2 different sizes. The other thing that you can do, and this is a trick that I showed you with the maxi. I'm going to turn it into the vest. And when you're doing it with the Azure, it's going to be more of a shrug than a vest. So all I'm going to do, I have my skirt on as I normally would, and I'm going to pull up the front, pull it up and over. And this is one of those things you kind of got to, you know, play with it a little just to get it, because you can see the underneath is laying here. So you just kind of want to play with it, get it to lay nice. And in the back, you may need to flip under. If you're going to wear it as a shrug, especially with the Azure, I would definitely recommend sizing up. This is the small, and it fits me fine in here. If I was have done this with the extra small, it definitely would be tight under here, and I would feel it, and it would probably be uncomfortable after a while. So if you're going to wear it as a shrug, I would definitely recommend sizing up at least 1 size. So as you can see here, super cute, super easy, and I love it with the tank top. I think it just makes it, I don't mind necessarily. I would do more of a spaghetti strap than I would the thick, but I think it's just a cute little touch. And what you can do, you can leave it open, just as I am right here. If you want to close it up, all you're going to do is take one side, and what I would do is I would take 2 safety pins, and from the inside, I would just pin it on the inside right here, and then I would also pin it on the inside right here. And that way it will stay closed. You'll definitely want the tank top underneath just in case you get a little peekaboo. But that's how I would if you want to close it up. I would not put a belt. You could belt this. I would not put a belt on this print just because it's a little bit too crazy. But if you had a solid color or maybe a pattern that was a little more simple, you could totally, and I mean, I'll show you. But I don't like it with this print. But as simple as just putting on a belt, and that will keep it closed as well. Another trick that you can do with this is just simply tucking it in. So leaving it open, tucking it in, and it just kind of gives it a little bit, if you want, blast it out a little in the back. It just gives it a different feel, a different look. And again, if you had a more subtle print up top, you could, oh, there goes my belt. You could just throw on, a simple belt right here, and that will keep this from getting untucked from the Azure. So again, another different look, easy way to, wear your pieces in different ways, and get more use out of the things that you have in your closet. So another trick I'm going to show you, I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to put it back on. And this, again, you don't necessarily have to do these looks with two Azures. You could do them with jeans, with leggings, with, a maxi. So what I'm going to do now, I have my skirt on like I normally would. And whatever, I'm going to put one of my arms into like a one-shouldered shirt. So I'm going to put my left arm in. And when I do this, because it has that high waistband, I like to tuck that in because I think it just lays nicer. But it's one of those things, it may not bother you, you may like having that. I just like to tuck it in. I think it just, then you don't see the seam. Okay, so you could totally just wear it like this. Put a tank top underneath, or even if you had like a little, strapless shirt, just because you will see underneath, so you do want to have something under. But you could do something as simple as just wearing it like this. If you had this on with a pair of leggings, it would be absolutely stunning with a pair of high boots. So you could always just leave it out like this. You can also, simply just by changing the look, by tucking it in. And now I feel like it took it to a dressier place. And I feel like this is the kind of thing, if I needed to go to a cocktail party, I could absolutely, put on a pair of pumps, and head to a cocktail party, and I would be, perfectly dressed. You could also add an extra touch if you wanted, again, and throw on that belt. And that will not only make sure that the shirt stays tucked in, but just kind of gives it a little, a little extra oomph. And then if I can get the belt off, flip it around. And then the one other way that you can do as well is to untuck it. And this is kind of that trick I showed you about turning the maxi into the dress. You're going to stick your belt on. I keep turning it around because I don't like that big embellishment with this print. So same as I did when I turned the maxi into the one-shoulder dress, just by putting a belt on. If you wanted to, you could blouse it out a little. And again, when you put that belt on, that is going to make sure that the Azure kind of stays put where you want it. It's going to help this stay closed. So if you did not want to wear a tank top or a strapless shirt underneath, if you wear the belt, you could get away without wearing, just put a strapless bra on, because this is not going to open up, because you just want to make sure that you have it closed when you belt it. And that way, it'll just kind of keep it in place, and you don't have to worry about, hey there, people sitting inside. So again, super easy ways to wear the Azures and to kind of mix it up and show you a little bit of different things that you can do, because the skirt is not always a skirt. And that's what I'm here to show you. So I have one more trick for this set of skirts. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take it off. And again, this is going to be that halter top style, which I showed you in the maxi video. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to put your skirt on upside down, and I usually put mine on backwards. And the reason I put mine on backwards is because most of LuLaRoe skirts, both the Maxi and the Azure, are usually cut high-low. So the back is going to be a little bit longer. And when I do the halter, I like the look of that drape. I like having it come down low and the way that it lays. So when you wear it backwards, you have a little extra length, and then you can get a really nice drape. So all I did was I put my skirt on backwards and upside down. And then what I do is I pull this tight against my back. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ends here and tie it behind my neck. Super easy. It may look harder than it is, but I have faith that you all can do this. Okay, so now all you need to do is kind of play with it a little bit. You want to get it tucked in so that you're not seeing the underside of the print. And then you kind of want to just play with the front, get it tucked in. And again, I tied it a little higher than I normally would. I mean, a little tighter. The looser you are, the more it's going to drop down. And as that, you can see here, I have a really super cute halter top. And there you go. And again, you don't necessarily have to wear it with a second Azure. You could put it on with a pair of slacks. You could put it on with any of the other LuLaRoe skirts. So, you know, it really just kind of depends what look you're going for. And again, you could wear it out like I had it there. You could tuck it in to your skirt like this, which I feel like almost gives it a little bit of a dressier feel. This is the kind of thing, throw a blazer on over this and you are set to go to the office. And then after hours, if you're meeting your girlfriends or your husband for, you know, a drink or a bite to eat, when you get to wherever you're going, just take off that jacket and you've now gone from work to play simply by just losing that blazer. You could, you know, always just add a belt. And again, I always like sometimes if I'm doing something like this, just throwing on the belt because it's going to make sure that my shirt stays put and I don't have to worry about it coming untucked. And it just kind of helps everything stay in place. So these are the fun, different ways of wearing two Azures together. And now I'm going to show you my all-time favorite way to wear the Azure. I'm going to slip into the size large. And again, I am normally a size extra small. You know, I'm a size 0. And here I am wearing the large. And you can see, I'm going to come a little closer so you can kind of see. It's big. I mean, it's definitely, it's huge. But I'm going to show you how to make it work for you. All you're going to do is you're going to pull it up to, I pull it up to like my natural waist. And all you're going to do, find the seam on the side. And you're going to pull, I mean, look at that. This is, so you can see that I have really sized up here. So what I'm going to do, I pull it out to the side, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to do that little side, like rose knot. And I will tell you that I find that it is easier to do it with the slinky material, just because it has a little more stretch than the cotton. Okay. So all I did at the waistband, when I did that knot, girls, I took it from my waistband and I tied it right at my hip because that is not only going to tighten the waist up, but I think it just, you can, I don't know if you can see it from, but can you see that ruching that it creates across here? It really creates a beautiful effect, and it does the same thing across the back as well. And I love how it just kind of gathers right here and just, you know, it has a really nice drapey effect. So here is probably my favorite way to wear the Azure skirt. And as you can see, I could wear it on the side like this, or even just a little twist to the front so that it sits like right on your hip bone. I think just gives it a really beautiful look. It kind of, and it still has that A-line effect, as you can see, because it's still going out. Just gives it a little more character, a little more interest. And this is something, I could have done this with that medium as well. But it's obviously, you know, I would say at least 2 sizes up to be able to do this because you need enough fabric to be able to tie that knot. But yeah, you could do this from at least 2 sizes up all the way up. I could do this with a 3X if I wanted. So this is just a way, if you see a print that you like that's not your size, that's okay. You can make it work. And if you ever see something that you love but it's not your size and you aren't quite sure how to make it work for you, send me a message. I will gladly help you, and we could do a FaceTime, and I can show you how to make these items work in your closet, because that's the great thing about LuLaRoe, is you don't always have to get your size to make an item work. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the video today. I hope you learned some really fun, new, interesting tricks. If there's anything you guys ever want to see, if you, if there's an item that you really want to learn different ways to wear it, send me a message, because I would love to hear from you guys and kind of, show you the things that you want to see. I'm thinking next week that I might do the Carly. I haven't quite decided yet, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So I hope to see you guys all next week, and have a fabulous day. Bye, guys.